Hello, my fellow optimists. Membership Chair Russ here.
And past President Nick. Welcome to this week's Membership Magic, our weekly message about how to keep your membership strong and healthy.
Nick, whether you're a member with or without a leadership role in an optimist club, I can't imagine anything worse than realizing one day your membership is losing interest in the club and its activities. It's true, most clubs operate on an 80-20 rule where 80% of the club's activities are generated by 20% of the club's membership. This core group fluctuates depending on the activities or events taking place. The problem arises when something happens within this core group. Perhaps the key leadership leaves, or the club just becomes bored doing the same old activity year after year. It could be that the needs of the community have changed. Whatever the reason, it needs to be dealt with quickly, and revitalization efforts must begin immediately to demonstrate the resilience of the club. The shame is that once the club begins to falter, it can spiral out of control before you know it, and the club is gone.
Russ, I couldn't agree with you more. When a situation like this occurs, there's an urgency that just can't be ignored. Because no matter how much you might hope or wish, it won't go away or work itself out without some effort. The warning signs are there, but many times they're overlooked or ignored because the club's leadership becomes complacent and doesn't see it. Sometimes, I'm sorry to say, they don't want to see it. Occasionally it happens quickly because of some event or action, but I find in most cases it sneaks up on you. It was slowly happening, but the club leadership didn't see it because they weren't being vigilant. They weren't looking for it. A key factor in keeping your club healthy is to be ever vigilant to what is happening within the ranks of your club's membership. On the surface, everything may seem okay, but beneath the surface, troubles may be brewing. So, Russ, what are your thoughts about this?
Nick, there are several early warning signs that members and the leadership need to be aware of. For instance, if it's true that only 20% of our membership participates in our programs and activities, how do we connect with the other 80% to share and celebrate the joys of our programs? Naturally, communications is the first thing that comes to mind. All of our membership needs to be communicated with on a regular basis. However, less active members need even more to remind them how wonderful the work is we do, so they can share in the joy and sense of accomplishment we receive every time we do a program. Don't shy away from this. Sure, it's going to take some time, but our members, as well as our contributors, need to be constantly reminded of their value and all of the wonderful feel-good things that we do in our community. It can be through a monthly newsletter, email, social media, a telephone call, or even a personal visit. We need to take some action that lets them know we care about them and value their contributions. We hear a lot about transparency these days. Everyone needs to know what we are doing and clearly see the value they play in making their club's activities and programs a success. Regular communications are a must and should be sincere and about things that really matter. You know, a second indication of a club at risk is members are ignoring your communications. They don't respond to emails, and even worse, they ignore your telephone calls. When faced with this problem, the first thing to do is ask yourself, are your emails relevant? Do they provide good information? Are the members actually receiving them? Are you or a team really making the effort to telephone members regularly? I recently was on a phone call calling members and found out that one of our members was experiencing a terrible health issue, and we had not seen or spoke to him in over 2 months. Shame on us. Remember, your message has to be sincere and heartfelt. You need to demonstrate that you really care about the member and his or her family's well-being. You know, if they still aren't responding, and invite them out for a coffee or lunch, telling them that you want to get their input and discuss the club's future and direction. If you don't have time for a face-to-face meeting, try switching your strategy and sending them a personal, simple survey asking them about their ideas and what they want from the club. You might also include how they would like to communicate with them. Texting, email, or a telephone call. This approach should go a long way in piquing the members' interest and getting them to pay attention to your communication. You know, another indication is your membership is not participating in club activities and projects. You know, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing have exacerbated the problem. But members that have no contact with the club and are not participating in activities indicates your club is heading for trouble. They say necessity is the mother of invention. So now is the time to try some new methods of communication to increase and maintain membership involvement. How about a personalized video message like the ones we're doing? Or perhaps a one-on-one Zoom meeting? If you're not familiar with Zoom meetings, now's an excellent time to learn a new skill. Optimus International's new learning management system, called LMS, has online classes to provide step-by-step tutorials on how to run a Zoom meeting. It's not a face-to-face, but it's the next best thing to it. Making this extra effort does two very important things. You and your club will learn new communication techniques. At the same time, you'll show the member how important and valuable they are to your club.
Russ, I really like the direction we're going with this. Simple but effective actions a club's leadership can take to re-engage its membership and increase their participation in club activities. I love your idea about the simple survey. It's a quick way to solicit member input. I developed one for my own club several years ago. I asked only 4 questions, but it generated a tremendous amount of information about member concerns, desires, and ideas. It provided our club's leadership the opportunity to talk and communicate with our members and find out what was really on their mind. It was a real eye-opener for me and my board of directors. The 4 questions were, what do you think about our club and its mission in our community? Are you as a club member getting what you came here for and value from your membership? If you could change one thing about your club, what would it be? And the last question, what do you think our club will look like in 5 years? These 4 little questions generated pages of suggestions and ideas that helped my club refocus and increase its service to our community.
You know, Nick, talking about their survey leads to another reason clubs sometimes find themselves at risk. Leadership is that is hard to communicate with and is inaccessible. In this day and age of ultra accessibility, there are numerous ways to make yourself available to your membership. Make sure you are available and respond in a timely manner. Develop and share a club directory. Make sure it's easy to contact the club's leadership. And last but not least, if the club has a website, make sure it's mobile friendly and simple and easy to navigate.
Russ, another indication of a club being at risk is its members are not readily sharing their optimism with others. They're not inviting friends, family, or others to visit the club or participate in the club's key activities and programs. The current membership is not excited and enthusiastic about introducing new members to optimism. This is oftentimes compounded by the club's leadership and members not even discussing or planning for growth. Now, the emphasis is not beating up your membership about growth because it's not why they joined. However, there must be an understanding that growth is vital to a club's health and sustainability. So your club's newsletter, Zoom meeting, or face-to-face meeting should encourage your members to spread the word about the benefits of an Optimus membership. Craft your message to explain or demonstrate how important growth is to the overall health and longevity of the club. How it enables the club to involve more people in optimism and in adopting a positive outlook on life, as well as the services the club provides and its ability to provide more services and help more children. When you think about it, isn't that what it's all about? Introducing and teaching people how to live a more optimistic and positive life, which in turn leads to providing more services?
You know, Nick, the more I think about our discussion, it's clear to me a club that does not include membership growth in its planning and discussions is clearly at risk and headed for big trouble down the road. If clubs are to thrive and effectively carry out the Optimist mission, their leadership and the members must understand we're in this for the long haul. Kids depend on us. If your membership database is filled with members who almost never participate or ones that can't be contacted or communicated with, it's time to get your house in order.
My fellow optimists, we have a golden opportunity to open new doors of optimism, share new ideas, and establish programs that are more relevant in our respective communities today. We're committed to serving more children, but in order to do that, we must have more members. Members like us, committed to our mission. Our club leadership must step up and identify and resolve the actions causing complacency and disinterest. Spot poor trends and begin sending a clear, concise message to our members and prospects touting the personal benefit of being involved in optimism. It's time to take a real good look at your club and be honest about what you see. Ditch those activities and procedures that are no longer relevant and choose a course of action that will take optimism and the relationship with your membership to a whole new level. We need to be resilient, dedicated, enthusiastic, and resolved to succeed as we continue on our exciting, rewarding journey in optimism.